So, good evening, sir. This is our research. The title of our research is The Decision Making Quality and Effectiveness of Conciliation Process of Lupong Tagapamayapa, a Correctional Study. So, the proponents of this research are Baha Albinjan, Eduardo Godfrey, and Wenceslao Paulo D. So, first, the variable of our study is the decision-making quality is the dependent variable, and the effectiveness of conciliation process is the independent variable. Introduction. There have been several studies that connect the success of Lupong Tagapamayapa conciliation procedure to numerous elements. The effectiveness of the conciliation process, on the other hand, is determined by the conciliator's or lupong decision-making abilities and how it settles a conflict between two parties. Decision-making procedures are important in conciliation because they provide a larger framework for sorting, in, interrogating, and resolving a conflict. To deal with complicated situations, the conciliator must have solid analytical abilities and, if feasible, break them down into manageable components in order to discover and explore alternatives and viable ways to end the disagreement. So that is according to Cox 2017. The findings from this study can be used to determine what needs to be improved regarding decision-making quality and effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa, as well as the consequences that ensure a higher degree of fostering better work and improving more. As they represent the study conclusions, the outcome of this research may help the Department of Interior and Local Government or DILG, such as giving them information on how effective Lupong Taga Pamayapa is in the barangay. Moreover, this study also significantly contributes to bringing improvements to the conciliation process of the Lupong. Residents will also become more responsible and responsive in terms of their actions in creating and maintaining peace and order in their neighborhood through a community-oriented policing system. As a result of this study, for future researchers, this will serve as a beginning point for them to expand the scope of the research in terms of the variables examined and to provide significant prospects for the study's development. This study will be conducted to determine the decision-making quality and effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa. Specifically, the study will be conducted to seek answers to the following objectives. First, to determine the level of quality decision making and effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong, Taga, Pamayapa, Barangay La Filipina, Tagum City in terms of 1.1 structure and approach, 1.2 evaluation, and 1.3 transparency and communication. Second, to describe the level of effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa in terms of 2.1 conciliation efforts to reconcile parties, 2.2 enforcement of rules, and 2.3 proper application of the legal procedures. Number 3, to ascertain the significant relationship between decision-making quality and effectiveness of the conciliation process of the Lupong Tagapamayapa in Barangay La Filipina, Tagum City.
Good day, ma'am and sir. So the method, population in sample. The target population of this study are the Lupong Tagapamayapa and the resident of Barangay La Filipina, Tagum City. The participants will answer the survey question provided by the researcher. Random sampling will be used as sampling method in which the researchers choose samples based on our subjective assessment rather than selecting samples at random. So the respondents is the residents of Barangay La Pilpina, Lupong Tagapamayapa. So the materials in instrument, the instrument survey in the study was adapted to the survey of Thompson in 2017. It was modified questionnaire to suit the context of the study. The set the set of questions deals with the decision-making, quality, and effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa with the following indicators: structure and approach, evaluation, impact, and transparency and communication. Conciliation efforts to reconcile parties is one issuance of certificate to file action, enforcement of rules, and proper application of the legal procedures. So the range of means, level of description, and meaning. So if 4.30 to 5, very high, meaning this means that the level of effectiveness of the Lupong Tagapamayapa is always manifested. 3.4, 3.50 to 4.20, the level of description is high, meaning this means that the level of effectiveness of the Lupong Tagapamayapa is oftentimes manifested. Third, 2.70 to 3.40 level of description is moderate, meaning this means that the level of effectiveness of the Lupong Tagapamayapa is manifested. 1.90 to 2.60 level of description low, meaning this means that the level of effectiveness of the Lupong Tagapamayapa is seldom manifested. Last, the range of means is 1.0 to 1.80 level of description very low, meaning this means that the level of effectiveness of the Lupong Tagapamayapa is not manifested.
So, good evening, sir. Design and procedure. After the thesis committee approves the study, the researchers will prepare the research instruments which will be used in gathering data. The researchers will submit the modified questionnaire to the advisor for the checking. Afterwards, the panel members or experts will validate. The researchers will personally administer the questionnaire and will give instructions to the respondents, which are the Lupong Tagapamayapa and the residents of Barangay La Filipina, Tagum City, and retrieve the questionnaire after being responded. All the results will be recorded and analyzed by, by the statistician and interpreted by the researchers. The study employed a descriptive research design for it will measure the level of quality, decision-making, and effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa, Barangay La Filipina, Tagum City. Mean, this was used to determine the level of decision-making quality and the level of the effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa. Person, this was used to determine the relationship between decision-making quality and effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa. Regression analysis. This was used to determine the significant influence between decision-making quality towards the effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa. The concept is also supported by the decision theory of Hanson in 2013, which stated that there are two types of decision-making theory, normative and descriptive. The research study is also anchored on the procedural justice theory of 1990 and stated that the fairness and effectiveness of dispute and conflict resolution depends on the quality of the decision-making process of the power holder or person with authority in terms of structures and approach, evaluation, transparency, and communication, and the effectiveness of conciliation process of Lupong Tagapamayapa in terms of mandated rules, function, and responsibilities.
So that's all, sir. Thank you for watching.